Well, Grace, glad you could come in today. We're really happy to see you.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, great, great. So first thing we're going to do is go through the informed consent.
Okay.
And that talks about your confidentiality and things that are going to happen here
Okay.
in the counseling section.
Okay.
So the first one, and you can initial them off as we go along. So the first one is that you consent to video recordings being made, and these are mock sessions, and they'll be used for counseling, training, knowledge, and skills. You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second one is pretty much the same thing. You consent to the recordings being used for supervision and research.
Okay.
And you understand that any part of the conversation is recorded, and anything that's written down will be kept confidential.
Thank you.
Okay. I will not disclose any information that identifies me in the recording, so you don't have to provide your name or give any, identity, sharing the identities along with the recording.
Okay.
And I understand that Zoom will be used, and Zoom is both HIPAA and FERPA compliant.
Okay.
And I understand that if the recordings of the mock counseling session activates anything suicidal or other potentially harmful thoughts, that you will reach out to one of us here and we'll get things straightened out. Okay? So you print your name on the letter.
Okay.
And date,
Okay.
and then sign.
Okay. Very good.
Great, thank you. Okay, so let's get started a little bit. What brings you here today, Grace?
Oh God, it's recently just very stressed at work.
Stressful work? Tell me a little bit about that.
It's like it just seems like there are a number of things. Like just feels stressed. Like the last time I put gas in, it's like almost double how much I put in the past. And it's just patients not coming. There's stuff like it just like it seems like overwhelming, just like number of things.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Seems like you have a lot of things going on, and adding them up together makes it pretty overwhelming. Right?
I know, and also now they're just back to college, and it's just a lot of new things. I have to buy a lot of new things, and I just realized like how much everything costs more now.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
And we haven't even got a raise.
So if you were to list some of the items that you covered a number of things, right? You covered that you'd like a raise. Is that right?
Oh, definitely. The inflation, like just so high. It's just like it seems like every month it's just paying the bills is like there's nothing left.
Nothing left. Yeah. And sounds like that you've maybe have some issues with the number of hours you're working. Is that the case?
Like it seems like just a number of things combined together, right? I used to be happy about how much I get paid for the hours I work there. Now I just feel like, okay, if I only get that much money, that putting extra time at work, it just seems like more stressful.
More stressful, yeah.
I know. It's just maybe it's I feel like it's my internal sort of measurement saying, oh my God, it's like I'm not getting paid enough for all the hours I have to put in.
Yeah. So it sounds like the stress is coming from multiple locations. Would that be the case?
Yeah. Number of things.
Okay, well, let's see if we could pin a couple of those down and see what we can do about, some goals as to maybe how we get past those. Is that okay? Okay. So tell me which of the items that you mentioned that you'd like to get a raise. You mentioned that you're working too many hours. And how do you, which of those is going to be the most, which of those is going to be the most important to you to have fixed?
I asked my boss about a raise. He's like, that's probably unlikely to get a raise now. He said maybe end of the year they might do adjustment.
Mhm.
And so I'm thinking maybe if I have fewer work hours and then I won't feel so stressed, at least I can, walk, take a walk after work.
Mhm.
That might help with lower my stress level.
Okay, so it's a combination of, it sounds like a combination of number of hours you're working
Yeah.
and the amount of, how far, tell me how far away do you live?
Like it's about no traffic is about 35 minutes.
Okay,
But sometimes like there's traffic and there's 45 minutes just to get there and then I have to put in gas like twice a week
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah,
it's a lot.
it just seems like I leave early and don't get home until it's dark.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So if we were to rank the problems in order, how do you think you would rank them?
Like if I can rank the problem, if I have get paid more money, then I won't worry about drowning. So maybe it's not so much because
Mhm.
like, the two things were not just like seem to be so much. And then I like to work fewer hours. So I have little time for
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah,
Like I just feel like when I get home, I'm so exhausted. I just want to go sleep or
okay.
just lay down, do nothing.
Okay.
I know it's not healthy.
So, and it sounds like the inflation and the cost of everything going up is maybe more stressful, right? So looking at those three things, which of those do you think you could control? Sounds like the race pieces, but gonna wait till the end of the year, but I'm sure that you
So
could.
maybe more time, get home a little bit early
Mhm.
and not like when I get home late and I just grab food from takeout. And that costs money too, right? So
Yeah.
if I can get home early, do a little bit more home cooking, I might be able to like not feeling so stressed with
Yeah.
the bills and the stuff, credit card bills.
Have you talked to your supervisor about, maybe cutting back hours a little bit, getting out a little bit early?
You know, my supervisor is pretty reasonable. He's like, as long as you can finish all the stuff, you can leave early. It just seems like I'm not getting stuff done
Mhm.
within hours. Like I can leave 5, but then there's always stuff coming out. And then maybe my boundary is a little blurry, and then I will just stay behind trying to get stuff done and not set time boundaries for myself. So by the time I get home, it's 7, and I'm cook, so I buy food. So yeah, my supervisor is pretty understanding.
Mhm. So maybe that's the direction we should think about, right? Because
Mhm.
we can't control the cost of things, right? Cost of things are going to continue to go up.
Mhm.
Sounds like the raise is going to be a little, at least another 6 months. So the thing that we could probably change is the amount of hours that you're working and include a little self-care in there. What do you do for exercise?
Like, I can at least go for a walk, right? I like to go to the gym that I'm paying membership for, but I just haven't had a chance to go back. I guess, if I can get home at reasonable hour, then I, fix up some quick dinner, healthy dinner, and then I can, maybe swing over to the gym. Or maybe I can go to gym first, work out for 10, 15 minutes, even like 10, 15 minutes might be helpful as well.
Okay, I understand. So Grace, we're coming to the end of the session, so I need to let you know that we'll be wrapping up here in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
and want to make sure that we're comfortable with everything that's going on, and that we're, helping you get a little more control over the situation and not feel so stressed.
It's helpful, at least get my mind thinking about, maybe really going back to gym and trying to
Mhm.
go and stop by 10-15 minutes would be helpful. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, and I think spending a little time, do you think spending a little time with your supervisor and being, setting some boundaries as to, what time you can get out of there?
Yeah, I think I need to work on my own boundary. Like
Mm,
he's pretty good at like, hey, you can leave now, but I'm the one who's like, oh, one more thing, one more thing, one more thing
Mhm.
before I notice. It's like,
You're there another couple hours.
mhm.
Yeah. So for when you come back the next time, how about if you talk to your boss and make sure that you've got the boundaries set that 5 o'clock you gotta go. And you'll get the work done, but 5 o'clock you gotta go. And let's see if you can get a little more exercise and see how you feel. And we'll set some goals as to, I think what, what goals would you think you should accomplish?
I think for next week, maybe at least do 2 to 3 times gym,
Okay.
and then not to eat out every night.
Yeah.
Maybe fix my own dinner at least 2-3 times.
Mhm.
I think that would be 2 goals I would like to accomplish.
Okay. Well, that sounds like we're off to a good start.
Mhm.
So, um, you know, session's over, and we'll schedule you back for next week. And certainly call the office if anything pops up. You need somebody to talk to.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Steve. Bye.